Good morning, and welcome to the Deal Room Live, the daily real estate deal tank powered by Titan Impact Group, a global leader in AI-driven real estate investing and funding, where the real estate world meets speed, precision, and profit. And bring us your deal so we can put it into our AI model that analyzes and structures real estate deals in minutes, generates all the docs you need to get the deal done, and gives you a verified, unbiased breakdown of due diligence report. The investors get the advantage of getting fully vetted AI-analyzed deals that cut their due diligence time down by 60%. So you're in the right place. Let's open the deal room now and get into today's opportunity.
Stacks 100 north. Everyone.
And this is the Arizona Commerce Authority. So that's the destination
North.
today. But we're going for the
And then
purpose
go
of doing
north.
we're going for the purpose of doing an opportunity zone summit. Like they're sponsoring an opportunity zone summit. They're trying to get opportunity zone people interested.
Street,
We're going
right?
to do opportunity zone
Venue.
summit.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see what we can
Same
get.
27.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These
that
apartments right
sounds
here,
right.
bro.
Yeah, the one's the wrong address.
So right here where
Okay,
these
so we need to pull
apartments
up
are,
Zoom.
you just put just padding, faulty, whatever. We're buying that 5.5 acres right there and putting it up for housing like that. It's right there. And next to all those fucking junkyards. So we need that one right there. See those buildings right there? We bought that right there. I just went past Katya's property.
Hey, Amor, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, honey. We are driving to another conference for Opportunity Zones. Can I make you the co-host so you can like let people in? Because trying to do
Yeah,
this in the
definitely.
car is
Yes.
interesting.
Yes. Yep, definitely. Just switch that and I will let people in.
Okay, we're trying
Hi,
to
Roman.
Buenos
días,
amores.
I've been seeing all your stuff, the games on your Facebook page and stuff.
My what?
Like like your kids playing and stuff like that on your Facebook
Oh,
page.
yeah.
The coast?
They got a lot of, the
Yeah.
small one is playing tackle football now, so getting ready to go to high school, so they're
Oh.
doing like a development program kind of thing, so.
Okay.
I stay
okay.
active.
Okay.
Trying to stay fit.
Amor, we made you co-host, so
Okay,
you
okay.
need to
Gotcha.
let when attendees come in, you need to switch
Yeah.
them to panelist.
All right, I'll be looking for this.
Okay, can we go back? Now that she's doing that, I want to see who's actually on the call with us. So Amor, Blake, Roman. Okay,
I've
cool.
been off. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So Tommy, everybody's up ready for you to host.
Roman and I are trying to figure out our phone situation here. Maybe we got to figure it out now. I don't know. Can you still see his pretty face and hear my wonderful voice?
Yes. I don't see,
Okay.
wait, I did see, oh, wait. I'm like, you keep moving from it.
If Roman wants to talk, we're getting the reverberation between the microphone speakers. So,
Okay.
but anyway,
All right, then I'm putting Nico, bringing you in.
we got phone numbers. Did anybody try the phone numbers? I know Amor tried it. I know
Yes.
Roman tried it. We got phone numbers spread out, and it's super exciting because this is really going to be able to allow people to reach out and get in tune with the LandShark and the 7 streams and opportunity zones. So we're really excited about that.
Yep, I got to try it last night.
And I received all the text messages every single time somebody called in.
Oh, cool. Yeah, all of them worked good for me except for the summit one. It was saying stuff it shouldn't have been saying.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that one. And again, like we'll wait until we know the hotel situation. But I'm confident in changing over to a simpler plan. So
Yeah, because I like that the other one, like, even if you would ask it questions that it shouldn't answer, it would be like, how about I set you up for a call? Da, 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 da.
right.
How about I send you this information on the website? Like, instead of answering stuff, like, some things that I was just like, okay, well, how much does this cost? And they was like, how about I set you up for a call to make, but the summit one was answering stuff that I was like, what? I'm like, what are the dates? It's like June 25th. I'm like, no, thanks.
Interesting. Well, we are stress testing them, so that's important to know. And again, what I've done with this now is what I'm trying to do is get the intro to be more friendly than because the way that it was answering the call for me anyway was that it would like it would address me directly. It'd be like, is this Thomas Dobzik? Email address 3azbuckeye@gmail.com. I'm like, I was almost like offended. It knew more about me than I wanted it to. So I
Oh
told
yeah,
him,
it
I
did
said,
ask me that. It was like, "Hey," da, 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 da. I was like, "No,
right. And as much
yeah,
as it's impressive that it scrapes that data, I don't think I want them to know I did that. So
right,
I told him, I said, the best thing to do would be to make it a little more personal. And I wanted to say something like, hi, this is Patrick from Titan Impact Group. Thanks for reaching out today.
hmm
Help you, and I said, change it to that. And then it'll, whatever, it doesn't matter what the person says it's looking for. I wanted to ask three questions. I wanted to acknowledge the person's question and be like, oh yeah, we'll definitely help you with that information. Though, can you answer these three questions? And the three questions are really yes or no. And then based on the yes, no, depends on whether they get asked to book a call or told to go look at the website and we send them a text message with it. So it's going to be one or the other. The book a call is when they are like, well, how much does it cost? You got to book a call.
yes,
We're not gonna let
yes,
an AI bot tell you the price. And
yes."
so we do the 3 point questions to get them to book a call. If they answer yes to all three, they get to book the call. But if they don't, we gotta eliminate how many people get through to Catherine, because yeah, like if you
She
watch
doesn't want to have to
Catherine's
answer
videos,
all of those calls. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
if you watch Catherine's videos, you know damn well if you tell the if you put in the form that you're anywhere involved with foster children and trying to help foster children, you're going to get a direct call with Catherine Bell. That's her mission.
Mhm.
That's her heart, and it irritates me when people use heartstrings to attract people. So we're building out a system that protects Catherine's time dedicated to those important missions away from people that want to capitalize on her achievements and all the things that she's doing without really contributing to that, you know? So it's been difficult for Catherine to feel like her time needs to be monetized, but it's very important she understands the value she provides. And I think this podcast has done that extensively. It's shown that like these college kids, like we just drove past Katya's property. I call it Katya's property now because she was able to get a signed LOI from the sellers on the original terms we presented originally. Like she stuck it out. She was a trooper. She didn't give up. She didn't get it in. She had the right attitude through the whole thing. And right now we have a win-win, possible win situation. And it came from Kath.
Oh, we lost you, Tommy.
The importance of giving the time to the right people result in all that impact that we try to accomplish in all the things that Titan Impact Group gets involved in, including this podcast. So it goes to, Amor, Katia, Blake, Laura, Roman's in here, which is again like, a rarity. But again, it goes to the fact that Roman is going to this event with us because Roman was part of the co-author of Koza 2.0, of OZ Wizard 2.0, and with his experience and his advisorship in opportunity zones. Not only that, he really sounds amazing talking all that stuff we wrote in
And he
Spanish.
looks really cool too, so I think that's also a plus.
Right, he does look really cool. He is the OZ, he's the OF of the OZ. So, but yeah, with all these people in here, it really adds again to the value of what Catherine's able to do, because Catherine's genius really is bringing people up, like making people feel like they can achieve what their destiny is.
Yes.
And she does this through building people up with her coaching and mentoring. Like Catherine's also an operator. Like right now today, Catherine's trying to close two deals. Right, Catherine? I know you're. I'm speaking for you because you're driving. I don't want to distract you while you're driving. But you got two deals right now. You're trying to get close. $15 million on an RV park and $5 million on a data center totals $20 million. And that's her everyday life. That's what we do away from the podcast. That's what we do away from the people and the stuff. So being able to go to talk to Katya's group in California and encouraging Blake and Hoy and all these people has really led to the value of what these people are going to be, needing moving forward in the Opportunity Zone project. So the Opportunity Zone program, it's difficult, it's hard to understand, but with what Catherine has invested in between myself, Roman, Dr. Ning Young, this mastermind and this partnership with the webinar, like this is the value that the investors are going to look for. They're not going to be looking at somebody who's been doing deals for 40 years and say, okay, you're the expert. Just because you've been doing it 40 years doesn't make you the expert. And so
Mhm.
what we are able to offer and provide, and what we bring to the table as a community, is of extreme value, and it's right now kind of like a gold ore. Gold ore is just the rock that has the gold in it. It's really not valuable until you break that rock down and chemically change the components of it to then extract the gold. And believe it or not, the way that it happens is that there's a chemical added to crushed ore that makes the gold float to the top on suds. It's pretty cool process, and I feel like that's the process we're currently doing in being LandShark Mastermind. It's very easy for me to see that we have a lot to achieve, but we've achieved a lot. So, and so I guess the other thing too is that the 2 hour podcast may very well be the direction for us in the future, but currently and as of right now, it's not going to be based on just all the work we're putting into other things. Like we've got a conference we're trying to push. We're also trying to push to get deals done, and we're also launching Titan 23. So we've got to pay attention to those things. And so what we will allow for is if we're flowing really good in a podcast with deal flow, and we've got a lot of deal flow cooking, because this is going to be important for the investor club, is that if we got a good deal flow cooking, everybody's brought deals, everybody's getting deals on the screen fast, and we're able to do deals. We'll run for another 30 minutes or so. We'll do a 90-minute deal instead of 60. But if it's kind of like today where we're out, we're doing a conference, or we're doing an event somewhere, and we really need to be mindful and you driving past the container apartments, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's the one you made the videos of?
yeah.
I'm just showing Laura all the things. Here's a data center. Sorry.
Are you, what's your location, Catherine?
There we go.
Are you on the highway still?
Yeah, I'm on 202.
Got it. Okay, I'm already downtown.
We're behind you.
Anyway, yeah, so yeah, there's data centers right there off of the 202. If you see the Carvana building, you know where
Yeah,
the
we've way already passed that.
so literally like 1,000 feet before Carvana is
Katia's property.
Katya's property.
Yeah, I was pointing it out to Laura.
Yeah, so super cool. But yeah, no, I'm just again referring to all the things that we're doing and we're trying to restructure how we program the podcast, because the last couple of days we're like, let's do 2 hours, and then I'm changing it over again and again. This is so that the people that come to the podcast get value. Like that's the biggest important thing for me, is knowing that the people that are coming into the podcast and working deals with us get the value of it. Like again, like Katya being able to solidify that deal is a huge testimony to what you do, Catherine, and what we've created within Deal Hunter. So to create an investor out of a college student is very important. So, and that means that we can do that with Amore as well. And Amore, you're kind of sitting in the driver's seat today. Do you have a deal that you wanted to push through? I know that the last deal we
Yes,
looked
I
at.
do. I get to be in charge today. I love
You
this. This is great. So I can do whatever I want today. Is that what you're
you
saying?
can. If you want to run a deal on a nail
You're in the
salon,
driver's seat.
you do it, girl.
Okay, well, let me pull it up because I did come across a deal yesterday. It's a seller finance deal. So I'm kind of excited to run it. So keep
What?
talking. I'll pull up.
You
Oh,
share
no
your
problem.
screen.
Yeah, we're
Yep.
just trying to
Let me-
find parking down here right now. I'm gonna be giving Catherine
Okay.
direction on how
Hey,
to find a
Nico joined us. Welcome,
spot.
Nico.
Hi, Nico.
Thank you. Awesome to be here. What's up, everybody?
Nico
Hi.
is the mindset guru, and a good guru, not a bad one. Like I'm always like the word guru is somewhat of a hot topic or a hot button for some people now, because of bad gurus in the business. But one of them that is not a bad guru is Nico. Nico's got this amazing ability to help people like us and tap into our minds, and tap into our higher purpose and stuff. And so Nico's amazing in that regard. We love having him in and being able to talk about the things that he's doing with people.
Call that a guru, not a
Catherine,
guru.
right, hoorah.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
looking at where this
Okay.
building is down here for Arizona Commerce Authority. I'm pulling in here. It says that the parking, so when you pull in here, there's parking garage in the back. And then
Where
I
is it
believe
being held at?
it's called the Arizona Commerce Authority. It's a federal building, state building, downtown Phoenix.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. This is a solar finance deal that I'm looking at for Joy in Waco. It's 2 miles from her college. And this, I guess, is a two-house portfolio, and they're like right next to each other. So I'll put
It's a
all the
two, you say it's a 2 unit?
it's two separate houses. They both are 4 bedrooms, 4 bath houses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say run this deal, as I'm supposed to say, and I put the information in. So let's see, it's like 3.62 interest rate. And let's see what it says for South Waco, Baylor area, and if this is a deal or not. The only thing I asked them to send me some pictures, so I don't have all the pictures yet, though.
Well, the interesting part is the seller financing. That's encouraging,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, okay. It does say that this is not a home run as a pure long-term rental at the stated structure unless you can either lease 323 fast, because one of them is empty and the other one isn't right now.
Which is positive because that's a way to scale it right off the bat. Is you do a little improvement and then you can hurry up and put somebody in there at an accelerated rent, and then turn around and tell your tenant that's there, listen, I don't know when the last time they raised rents was, but this is what we're going to because we're getting it next door, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So it is still thinking. And then I think, Tommy, Kyle is jumping on in a few minutes, so hopefully you'll still have a few minutes to talk to him.
Yeah. I'm actually we're situated outside. I'm gonna put all this. We're situated outside, waiting for Catherine and Laura to arrive so that we can all kind of go in together. I'm seeing a lot of people pull into the garage right now. Like a lot of people are just now arriving. So it appears that we're not late. We're actually with the rest of the crowd. I call it arriving with the salmon. So,
Guess okay. Okay,
and
so this is what it says. Can you see
what you
it,
got?
or you need me to?
Yeah, no, unfortunately my phone on my screen, the screen on my phone broke this morning, and Catherine's trying to convince me that I need to switch to an Apple, which is proof that the devil broke my phone this morning.
You don't have an
Okay,
Apple?
how do you explain? Roman was the one that told you.
Amor, you don't have an Amor.
I've got a business Apple phone, but we all know that that's made by the devil.
You know what? I can't.
So one person says something, you can like ignore it, but when two or more people, so you got Roman, me, Laura, Amor,
Oh yeah, no,
Katya, Blake, Nico,
I'm a member.
like
We are presidential members. We are presidential sponsor members at an exclusive car club where they literally have only Apple phone users as members. Like me and one other dude are the only Droid users at Club Scottsdale.
good. So stop resisting and make it your idea.
It's not a resistance. It's 100% being a true, faithful believer of God. So, because
So all of us who have
iPhone,
apples don't believe in God.
no, I'm just saying you're using satanic devices and idolatry is a bad thing. That's all.
Wow.
I don't remember Android
that's
in the Bible.
That's interesting.
you know
That
what,
story is
Tommy?
fascinating.
I remember
That-
apples in the Bible, but not Androids in the Bible.
Like not even there, period.
I would probably use it if they called it the I pomegranate instead of the I apple.
And guess what, Tommy? All of us right
A
now,
fabulous story.
we can see things on our phone. So
Again, like I know symbolism is a bad thing. So,
Okay. All right.
Story
So this is
OMG.
mate strategy.
So yes, let's get Morpheo looked at. Where is Catherine Bell? Do we have an ETA of the Queen?
3
It
minutes.
says my Apple says 3 minutes.
My apple
Awesome.
says 3 minutes too.
Okay. So fast forward. What does it look like to?
We just scan that and then pay. Is that how we do it?
You want to get the most important information you're going to need is your license plate.
Okay.
If you want to wait to pay in there, the parking person is here.
Okay.
Assist if needed. So, but they'll
All
have
right.
the opportunity.
And then do you know where the conference is being held? What the?
See that building right there? Right where that.
That gentleman. Okay, perfect. All right, let me scan it.
But they'll have a big table with all the validations. So you just
Got it.
Roman's getting us all checked in here. So
have a great.
You got it. I'm just reading what this says.
okay, go Amor. Tell us what you got.
Okay, so this is really interesting because it's just talking about although it has an interest rate of 3.62, this is not a home run. Because here's a couple of things. It talks about like they have like this 5% simple interest. So it says, I've got enough to frame the core issue. This is not a home run. Unless you can either lease the other one 323 fast at a solid rent to improve rents like what you were just saying, and then it says the 5% simple interest carrying with only $125 month payments creates a growing balloon that matters. This basis looks strong on paper versus online AVMs, but the income side is tighter than the 3.6 rate headline suggests.
Okay.
And the deal verdict is it's a conditional yes. Good basis, but mediocre hold cash flow. I think also I don't know that he's renting out each one of the rooms to like college students, but it says this is not a buy it just because of the 3.62. It has a newer build, 2014 4-4 layout. What makes it weak is, as we said, one house is vacant, and then that the seller carry is negative and the balloon is heavy. The tenanted house is only 2,200 until July 31st. And they haven't sent the newer pictures, which is a real condition risk. So the way it's set up is the existing debt is 252. The seller is carrying 200,000 total, which is 100,000 on each.
Yeah.
At a 5% simple interest and a balloon in 60 months. The cash equity gap before closing costs is about 25,000, and the quoted entry is 41,000 closing costs plus a TC.
More Kyle is here. I just promoted him to panelist.
And
Oh,
Tommy,
thank
I
you.
think
Sorry. I think when I'm sharing, I'm not seeing. Thank you for doing that.
right. Tommy, I think that we're here in the right parking lot.
I haven't seen you pull in yet. So
It says pay at this sign. It's all over around the parking lot, and then there's a parking structure.
all right, come in the parking structure. I don't see where you're at though.
Okay, let me go to the parking structure. Hold on.
Hi, Cal. Welcome.
I'm out in front of the parking structure.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can find you.
Kyle, good afternoon, sir. Welcome on to LandShark. Appreciate you coming in today to talk with us.
Yeah.
And always a pleasure when Amor introduces folks. So, Amor, can you give us a rundown of the meeting today with Kyle, and then
Yeah.
we'll look at this. We'll look at this two house structure, because here's what I know about two houses, especially when one's vacant. There's still opportunity as long as you're able to put meat on the bone. So we'd love to take a look at deeper dive on that.
Okay.
And just for the sake of time and respect to Kyle,
Yeah, we'll bring in Kyle in the conversation that we've been having, and a
Right.
couple of questions that I think kind of came up as we're working on the Titan 23 fund. And so I think a couple of questions, Kyle, that we still kind of have is one, we want to definitely protect the fact that, Catherine and Tommy and all of those who are holding that fund want to make sure that if they're doing fractional, that with the way we talked about advertising it and stuff, that they don't get in trouble with the fact that they have this other fund that's actively running. And so we wanted to ask more, I think, about, I sent them examples of how I've seen some people post on Facebook and different social media platforms about what they're doing. I don't know if you can share a little bit around the rules around that, and like if you have anyone who has ever done that before. I actually did, I shared this with you too, Kyle, that I set up a meeting with Michelle because I know that she's also been a fund manager as well as doing these three raises or that she just did on fractional last year. So I don't know if you can share a little bit more about that, and then they can ask any other questions, or if I did not phrase that question correctly, like Tommy and Catherine, please jump in.
I mean, I think you phrased it correctly, but yeah, if there's anything else, I can answer your question. And then if anyone else has anything, I can go through that. So yes, as far as marketing goes, as long as it's a warm lead, so anyone on social media, anyone that's in your sphere of influence, you can talk to them about the club. When it comes to cold outreach, that's where you do have to be a little bit limited, but because you already have a fund, and if you're going to plan on running ads for that, that can be a huge advantage. So when it comes to cold ads, you can't direct them directly to the club. They would have to be directed towards the brand or a website or a Discord, somewhere where they can agree to communication from you. At that point, they're a warm lead. But if you're already planning on running ads for the fund, they're becoming warm leads because they're reaching out to you to talk to you. And at that point, that's where you can funnel them into the whatever direction is best. If they're a better fit for the fund, you can funnel them into that. If they don't meet the qualifications for the fund, you can say, hey, well, I have this investment club as well that, you don't qualify for the fund, but you can join my investment club. So we have a lot of fund managers that are doing that as well in supplement of them running a fund.
Correct. And that just for the case study purpose of this, our understanding of how we're able to apply an investment club, kind of like what we have right now is we've got our, this is our LandShark Mastermind daily webinar. And we use this daily webinar to run deals and do things that would otherwise, like we're experiencing today. We achieved a letter of intent. We're planning to do a purchase agreement on a property that needs that could very easily be something that a fractional fund would be able to do the EMD on. And we could raise the capital for the EMD through the fractional, because that's not something that the equity fund actually performs.
That's 100% can work. Yeah.
Right. And so from that standpoint, if we had accredited or even unaccredited investors that wanted to partake in that early seed round, we can do that through what's known as the fractional platform. Correct.
Yep. Basically.
The only thing, Tommy, is that what's a little bit different about like the way we're doing the fund or whatever is like you can select which ones like, hey, I want to invest in this and I don't want to invest in that. I think with our fractional one, we have to like present it, people vote on that, and it's not like I'm gonna invest in yeah.
Right. You're 100% right. And Titan 23, and I don't know if you're familiar with it, Kyle, but it's a platform called Avestor.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Avestor is designed and structured for people to operate a fund, general real estate fund, for example, is what we have. But within that general real estate fund, we can raise for multiple assets, that as long as they're real estate. So we can do a RV resort, we can do a data center, we can do a multifamily, we can do an office building, and what our investors are able or allowed to do then at that point is he's over there on the curb. What our investors are able to do at that point is determine that, well, I want to be just in the data center. So we're able to have a individual disclosure for them to just invest into that instead of a blind pool. So in the fractional space, I know that that's not a blind pool as much as it is the money is pulled into, and each individual member of the investor club is then provided one vote toward whatever's presented by the club. as opportunities to invest into with the pooled funds.
Yes, so yes, pretty much, but I'll just clarify just to make sure. So, with the fund, obviously, yeah, they can pick and choose. When they join an investment club, it is a group effort. So they don't have, if the club moves forward with an opportunity, everyone in that club is moving forward. It's not like
Right.
3 people out of 20 can say, yes, I want in this deal and do it that way. It's all or nothing.
Yeah.
Okay,
And what's
so
the
it's for the
percentage again, Kyle, for the vote to pass?
Yeah, so it's 50% have to vote and it's a 60% or higher threshold. But I will tell you, it's an easy approval. We've never had a club leader get an opportunity turned down because these are people that know, like, and trust you. They're in your sphere of influence and they want their money to go to work. So it's honestly, it's more of a formality, but the voting is the active participation and why we're not a security, which allows, the unaccredited, accredited up to 99 people. So that's where the voting comes into place. But I will tell you, like I said, we've never had a deal get turned down or even really anyone say no. I think there's been like one deal where a couple people said no, and it was just literally confusion on their end. And once it was like cleared up with the club leader, they were like, oh yes, I definitely want to.
right, understandable, and so I think that solidifies my questions and signifies that we do qualify. We've structured it properly so that it makes sense and is equitable. So it's just a matter of pulling all the formalities together now at this point. And again, it's a good opportunity right now for us to start our investor club and provide that because we are currently capital raising for 2 other funds through Titan Impact. Through Titan 23. We have a third that we, like I said, are in LOI with right now that we need to raise capital for. And we're doing a capital stack there. So fractional would be a useful additive to that capital stack in that fashion. So I think as a team, we can collectively agree that we want to move forward with fractional. It's just a matter of how we put it all together and how we paint it on the canvas and make it look pretty. So
And
That's
can I
what we're
just
doing.
clarify 2 things, Kyle? I'm sorry, go
Yeah, of
ahead.
course.
But say what
No,
you're
no,
about
no.
to say.
Go ahead.
So just clarifying, just so we're like, what you said about the advertising thing is that if you put it on social media or whatever, like those are people connected to you in your group, blah, 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 you can do it that way. But the other thing that because they're already like, there's going to be ads and different advertisements for Titan 23, as people come into that, you can be like, hey, oh, you're not accredited, but we actually have this fractional over here. Would you like to learn more about that? Because that's a warm lead and that's
Yep.
already like connected to you, correct?
Exactly, because by them replying to the ad that you ran and
Mhm.
signing up for you to contact them, that's creating a warm lead.
Okay. And then the second part of that, and I was going to talk to Dustin. I don't know which day I'm connecting with him, but like, do you know, like across the different groups, because I was trying to create different roles and stuff like that. I know that Dustin does his like with a larger group of people. Do you know, like, I believe like one is like the community connector, and they're the people who are like reaching out to like people, sending updates, stuff like that. Do you know, like, with different ones, what are some of the different roles that people play? And
like
do we
organizational
also
structure, like the
need
internal
to
organizational
create
structure.
like, do we need to I'm sorry, Tommy, what'd you say? I'm sorry.
He
The
was just kind of agreeing with you, yeah.
Okay,
referring
okay.
to it as the internal organizational structure of the
Correct.
other clubs. If there's a format that you can provide us so that we understand how to design the internal organization of the club, because right now LandShark Mastermind kind of already has an internal working order on getting deals done. If we're going to do this as a private club within the LandShark Mastermind, we've kind of set it up for my7streams.org to become that. And
Right.
so my7streams.org is the private club. Is it illegal for private clubs to have a website?
Like, would this be directed to because everything happens on the platform. So you wouldn't
Right.
have like a website. You could have like your brand and then you can tell them about the
And
club.
you could just go to the okay.
Right. So
And
like with
but then we would
my7streams.org, it would just be the mastermind itself. And
Yep.
then within the mastermind is an investor club.
Yep. So basically, you could say the mastermind, and then once they're in the mastermind, you can talk about the club. You can't just
Correct.
like advertise it cold on your website.
Got it.
Got it.
Right.
And then we would have a separate business organization that is partnering with this club, right? So like we would have our own organization and then
Management company entity.
we would be in partnership with this investment club and like our part is, presenting the deals, doing the learning and all of that. Is that right, Kyle?
Yeah, so to answer your first question, it really just depends. Like you said, Dustin has a large team. I mean, I don't think Michelle and Vin have a big team. I think it's mostly them. We have operators that are doing everything themselves. So you guys can really delegate amongst yourself who
Mm-hmm.
wants to do what. You'll just want to make sure you have one or two club leaders so that worst case scenario, they have someone that they know they can reach out to. But as far as like updates, anything like that, you guys can delegate amongst yourself who wants to do certain roles within the club. That's really up to you guys. We're not, but I mean, you could ask other people as well. I think that would be the best way.
Yeah,
Because
I
we
reached
have,
out to Dustin and yeah, we're supposed to be talking just so I can understand how his is set up. And then, like I
yeah,
said, Michelle, we have our call. I actually talked to Vin last night, but that was just about our investment club stuff. So
okay.
I have a call set up with Michelle on Friday.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, that's really up to you guys. I think that they would be able to give you great guidance on that. And then as far as the second part of the question, yes. So typically it's your entity that has either a joint venture or a promissory note with the fractional LLC that's created.
So it could be that 7 streams of income, like that could be the one we create, and then it would be in partnership with this investment club.
Exactly. And what I was going to say earlier too is we're really here to help you to get ready. So once the setup fee is paid, basically the ball starts rolling. So we can help you get your deck prepared. We can help you talk about marketing. So what you should and shouldn't say. You could even send us examples and we can take a look at them. So, we're really here to get you ready so that when you are ready to launch, you knock it out of the park. I mean, for
So
the
we don't have to be, once we pay the fee, we don't have to be ready to launch right then.
nope,
We
not at
just pay
all.
the fee and then you guys help us get the other parts set up, show us examples, can review the stuff we do, all those things.
Yep, we're here to kind of guide you through everything so that when you say, "Hey, okay, I want to launch on this day," you're fully ready to launch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
All
Kyle.
right.
Sorry, I'm just making sure you're done.
Oh,
Amore? I didn't know if it's Amore. Anyway, hey, Kyle,
Amor,
what's going
you're
on?
fine.
Sorry,
Hi.
I haven't chatted with you for a minute, so I don't know if you recall the meetings we had, but
yeah.
yeah, I'm trying to get a gauge on where you guys are at now as far as fees and whatever. Is it because it's up to 3%, right? And then what is it like? Is it 3,500? Is it still 29 or what is it?
Yeah, so great question. So yeah, the back end for the club leaders is a flat $3,500 for all the taxes, distributions, and K1s. The setup fee covers the first year's annual fee. So it's basically the first year's annual fee is just due up front to get you started.
Right.
And then the 3% is still the same for the
Per,
investor.
I
per
can't hear
investment
you.
entity, right?
It's per investor per their
No, let me
contribution.
finish it.
Well, but when we're
yes,
talking, what's that?
it's 3% based on the investor's contribution.
Right. But as far as the 3,500 goes, that's per investment entity, right? Because you're pulling that LLC together with as far as a club. Well,
It's
if you're
per
doing
club, but the club can raise for multiple opportunities as well too. So you can raise a club for one singular asset. You can raise a club to deploy into multiple assets at the same time,
Right.
or to deploy into multiple assets over time as well too.
Okay.
So you
Yeah,
don't
because I still
have
haven't.
to do one club for each individual deal, depending on deal size and the interest from the network.
Okay. Yeah, I just still haven't pulled the trigger on this thing, and I'm thinking I might need to because it's like right now I've got several deals I'm trying to get up against the clock on, and I'm constantly there. I mean, I've even tried to run stuff through Michelle, and their process is a little bit chaotic, so they just can't get to things in time. You know what I mean? So I'd
Yeah.
rather just try and do my own club. But I was going to ask you, have you heard some of this stuff being kicked around in particular groups about being like a licensed financial advisor or having a license to be able to do this stuff. Somebody's really going off in there, and there's some people, agreeing with them as far as, the people are going to get themselves in a bind as far as, selling securities. And Stella was even chiming in on some of this stuff too, as far as giving a breakdown as far as what it was. But I don't know if you've been hearing any of that chatter, or if she's brought that up to you at all, or.
I haven't heard anything, but we're not a security, so we don't fall under SEC regulations.
And
Right.
Chris, to the point that you're discussing there, it is a boundary line that has to be explored. Because to Kyle's point, they're not a security as long as everybody involved has a vote. Voting creates that tangible property situation that disqualifies the SEC rules of what is a security and what is real property. So if you go and ask GPT, or maybe just go straight to the IRS and ask it for the 5 qualifiers of what is a security,
Oh yeah.
you'll
Yeah, I
see
know.
that the way you structure the program and make people vote is the way that it qualifies as a real property versus a security, because that voting opportunity doesn't necessarily happen on Robinhood, right?
Right.
So,
No, I understand the process as far as all that goes, and what, what the security is and what it's not. And there's that's like a big reason why I put my JV agreements together the way I do, is because I stipulate roles and responsibilities for each party involved in the
correct.
deal, and actually have to document a certain amount of activity. But the whole
Yep.
question is, it's like, how much activity is enough? You know what I mean? Because it's basically going to be a determination on an interpretation by whatever judge or attorney, if the thing goes sideways and it has to get litigated. That's what I always worry about. And that's why I'm curious, Kyle, if you have a little bit deeper input as far as what all activities, you know what I mean, that they're actually participating in to create an active investment rather than a passive.
Yeah, so they're actively voting on the opportunities that are being moved forward, as well as any major business deviations. So if you say, you set your club and say it's a 5-year hold, and then come back year 3 and say, hey, we need to sell, that's something that they would vote on. Everything is recorded on the platform. When they join the club, there are little things that they vote on, like agreeing to, the participation and everything like that. And everything is recorded on the platform. And we also have the former senior counsel of the SEC on our team. So if anything were to happen, we handle all the legal and compliance. Everything is on the website, so we can show that everything is compliant with
Okay. Well, one of the biggest things that I've been worried about as far as getting involved, because I've kind of seen this happen with Michelle and Vin, as far as a time constraint, you know what I mean, kind of holds things up if there's not enough expeditious movement, I guess, within the fund, within the club, I should say. And I don't know if you've been witnessing that hold up any deals, or if you're even privy to any of that.
Are you talking about like raising the capital or coming up with
No,
a deal to deploy
no,
the
let's say
capital?
the capital's already, you have your soft commitment, and everybody has their deposits in, but then now we're dealing with we're working a deal, right? And we're trying to figure out to get people to vote on it and stuff like that, and take a look at their due diligence and whatever. And you're always up against the clock. At least I am all the time, because the majority of what I do is a lot of secondary financing. And so I just don't know if I can afford that time frame, but I'm just curious how much you've seen things on average. Well, I don't know if it's hard to say an average, but as far as be delayed, from inception of the deal to actually getting an approval and going forward.
Well, that's what's great about the club is you can pre-raise capital. So you don't have to have a deal under contract or be under a time constraint. Your club can raise the capital based on the criteria. And then as soon as you present the deal, typically the vote takes less than 24 hours. So then as soon as that's approved, then
Yeah,
the
because
money
they
can be
usually
deployed.
say in the ones I'm in, they're like 48 hours. Like we're making
Oh,
this.
maybe it's 48 hours, but typically the ones that I've seen, the votes go through pretty quickly.
Okay, because some of the side stories I was hearing is like, man, this sounds like it's taken a week or more. I'm like, man, I can't afford
No,
that.
it's just like 48 hours. Yeah.
Okay. And have you guys changed anything on the platform or whatever? Because now I'm in the middle of like plugging in an AI OS, you know what I mean, trying to build it right now. But I would love to be able to figure out how to automate, well, make it a little bit easier, for the outreach. But then that's where they were coming up with questions when they were having this discussion in this particular group, if you will. And you should know what I'm talking about. I just don't know if I should even mention anything on here. Try not to. But they were talking about, the different ways you're reaching out to people, and whether it has to be I mean, granted, they're getting into Reg D stuff, you know, I mean, which doesn't make sense because it's like, no, you guys can do non-accredited, accredited, it doesn't matter who it is, you know what I mean? You don't have to have a certain amount of touches. You're not limited by 35, you know, non-accredited, and it could be anybody. But they're
Yep.
bringing up all these question marks, and people are questioning it, you know, and I'm sitting there going, why are they letting this fly on this group? You know, when it could affect you guys, even though Stella was involved, you might want to ask her about it, because I was sitting there going, man, that's messed up. You guys are like hammering on fractional a little bit here without
And
anyway.
that
You
is
both
where
to
we
answer the
expect
question.
that because this is new. People aren't used to this, so they're going to ask questions and they're going to try to pick holes in it. But like I said, because it's not a security, the rules are different. That's
Yeah.
why you can advertise and market on social medias to your warm leads.
That's why I was blown away that they were doing that. I'm sitting there going, guys, they've got securities attorneys in their back pocket. You know, they're monitoring this thing day in, day out. It's like they're not going to be sitting here just broadcasting
Putting
this, you
across
know,
the
saying, hey,
social
arrest
media.
me. You know, we're doing a bunch of security violations right
Yeah.
over here.
Exactly.
Well, and I appreciate the attention to this, Chris, because again, with Kyle on the phone and in the call, we're actually we've got a 506C Reg D company that we're currently capital raising for. Fractional is going to be part of our capital stack utilities in that frame. So, you know, and that was one of the things that I wanted to clarify, because the more I know is ready to launch with us on the My Seven Streams. And so for us doing that, you know, we do need to get into a little bit more organizational charting and discovering how our internal operations look. But I think from the standpoint of what we've discussed from, you know, our side as the LandShark Mastermind, acts as a strong portal for people to get attention. Like if you go call our AI bots and our AI inbound callers, they're all set up and established to direct people back to the LandShark Mastermind, back to the my7streams.org website, where I believe, based on what we've discussed, Kyle, all we have to do is just allude to the idea that we're here to help build wealth. And if you want more details on that, we can discuss it, kind of like what we're doing right here on this webinar. Like, we haven't advertised that we're an investment club. We've acknowledged that we're an investment club, but we haven't advertised to anybody during this call that's what we are. And if people are curious, we can definitely have a call after the call about how to get on that call.
Yep, exactly.
You're mingling the fund and the investment club?
It's not the same. So it's two separate things. It's not like, but when you're running ads for a fund, because they're reaching out and they want to talk about the fund, they're a warm lead at that point. So then if they don't fit the qualifications for the fund, typically you just have to turn them away and say goodbye.
But now they
Where
can
now you
investment
can
club.
say, hey, you can't join my fund, but you can join my
So
investment
you're
club.
like, it's basically creating a full range net, if you will.
Yeah, you're capitalizing on everyone instead of having to turn away
That's cool.
40 to
That makes sense.
50% of people that don't
The
qualify.
inbound is set up and designed so that there's basically 3 qualifying questions. And instead of just coming out and saying, are you a accredited investor? Because you know damn well they're going to lie about it.
Good.
I ask them if they're currently invested in something. And if they're currently invested in something, is it over $1 million? And if it's over $1 million, do they have the time to sit for 30 minutes and talk about how they want to invest another $1 million? And if they answer yes to all 3 of those questions, now I know they're accredited investors. If not, they're going to get pushed over to the webinar.
Right. That's why I love that, because it's like, if they don't qualify, it's like, oh, by the way, we've got this investment
By
club
the
over here.
way, it's okay. We have
Come
something
over
for
here.
you.
Exactly.
Come to the LandShark Mastermind. Chris, I don't know if you were in the call earlier when we were celebrating the big win that one of our brand new members. She's a college student who joined through our education program, and she's been sponsored by Titan Impact Group to be like a bird dog, a new member to the program, not just a new member to the LandShark, but new member to real estate investing. Only 4 weeks into the program, got a $12 million deal under contract for $4 million down, $8 million owner carry second position, and is currently setting it up to be in a cash flowing opportunity of $80,000 a month for truck parking on it for the 2-year hold that we have to do on it while we do the entitlements for multifamily.
Holy hell. Well, good on her.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I do have another call at the top of the hour, so I am
Thank you.
going to have to
Happy
drop
New Year,
soon.
Andy.
The one thing I wanted to ask, and Amor, I can talk with you offline as well too, if that's easier, but I can send over the invoice for the setup fee to get everything moving. Is there an LLC that you want it under, or do you just want me to connect with you, text you offline, and we can talk about that?
So you can text me offline.
Okay, yeah, I'll text you in just a minute once I get off this next call, and then
And if you want to more wrap me into that call as well. If you want to more, I'll
Yeah,
be glad
definitely.
to jump
Don't you worry, Tommy.
in. All right, wonderful.
Good seeing
I'm
you,
going to
Tommy.
wrap up.
All
I'm gonna
right,
wrap
great
up
to see
with prayer.
everyone. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye.
We're going to pull this meeting to a close today. I appreciate everybody coming in. Come back tomorrow. We'll check it out. Same bat time, same bat channel. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the blessing of this day and the blessing of the life that we have to live. We ask that you continue to guide us and put us on the path to do your will. In your name we pray. Amen.
Take care, everyone. Thanks so much.
Everyone have a great day.
Good
All right.
seeing you guys.